That's right. I filled the mug up myself. Or did I? I think we better get back to the mailbox. Oh, hello there. I am Uncle Bubba, and this is my digital mailbox where you send me physical mail and I send you a digital response. We are up to episode 13 of Uncle Bubba's mailbox. We have finally hit the teenage stage of the show, and much like the teenage years of life, our show will be growing and metamorphosizing and changing with each and every single episode. For those of you who didn't tune in to last week's episode, the season 2 premiere of Uncle Bubba's mailbox, Uncle Bubba has a gigantic brown box that he has been going through with piece after piece of wonderful artistic achievements. This is much like a pirate discovering a chest full of treasures at the bottom of the ocean. It is just a wonderful box with more and more and more rewards every step of the way. We are here right now, so let us dive back into the box and see what comes out. Once again, we are using stamps. So again, a multimedia project. We are not just using crayons or paints. We are using stamps to create art. A lot of hearts, a very positive message with this one. Inspire special. Inspire. This work is inspiring. It's telling me it's inspirational, but even though if it didn't do that, I would still know because I was already inspired before reading the words. This says memories. Again, we are looking back in time. We are thinking about our youth, much the same way we did at last week's episode. We're thinking again, we're looking back in time to our youth, to when we were younger, and as a way to keep our creativity going into our adult years. Wonderful. We are off to a fantastic start on this week's episode. All right, next we have a piece signed. So our artistic anonymity has come to a brief stop. We will see what happens as we go further, but we have a piece of artwork from Katie, who was brave enough to share. This was thought, it is Uncle Bubba in space. Uncle Bubba flying a little too close to the sun there, Katie, much like Icarus. Uncle Bubba has once again let his hubris get away from him as he is getting a little too close to the sun. And not only that, but there is no spacesuit on Uncle Bubba. A very brave, if I may say so, if I may toot my own horn, I am very brave and daring for having such a bold, artistic, and scientific endeavors in mind, but maybe not the smartest decision in Uncle Bubba's life. A green, perhaps breathing apparatus there on Uncle Bubba to keep him healthy in space, so no helmet, but I am still breathing. Very much makes Uncle Bubba look a little like the Joker in space. So, very well done, Katie. Perhaps your artistic endeavors, much like Uncle Bubba's, may fly a little too close to the sun from time to time, but we can always pull back and get to our base with our family if we ever do get a little too out of hand, which is a very important message that I'm glad Katie reminded us all of this week. Next. All right, we have a very lovely young lady there in a very bright colors. We have another scoop of ice cream, once again making us think of Frozen, a theme that has been going on now for the entire season 2. the Frozen franchise has dominated season 2 in a way that Uncle Bubba certainly did not anticipate. And on the top there, that is a very mysterious and very dark figure, very demonic looking, perhaps a very jack-o'-lantern-like creature. He is brown, so perhaps the pumpkin was let outside a little too long. Might want to throw that pumpkin away. Attracting flies and other animals, perhaps it's gone a little not ripe anymore. And lovely use of colors, the yellow, the pink, the green. We're thinking of spring. We're thinking of bright colors. We're thinking about getting outside and exploring the world. Even though the young lady in the picture does not have a smile on her face, she has a very neutral stare, much like the Mona Lisa, although slightly more compelling, I must say. So perhaps all is not what it seems. Is that a theme that will keep going? We'll have to wait and see. Next, we have returned once more to the world of the combining ears. Just when we thought we were done with them, they have once again returned, and I'm very glad that they have. Alright, combinations blue, red, gray, and brown create dynamic, whoa, a very dynamic picture indeed. As Josh here is explaining, different colors create dynamic compositions. A dynamic picture is made of all different colors, all different kinds of shapes, and wonderful. Again, I'm seeing the middle creature there. It looks like there is a smaller character perhaps steering the animal. So very good, very dynamic, if I may say so myself. Once again, we just cannot stop combining. As we have seen with the artwork, we are using crayons, markers, glue, stamps. We are combining everything, just as Josh is doing in this one simple picture. Alright, pom-pom, electric pom-pom, start fire, whoa, whoa. So if there are any ones out there with the electric pom-poms, I would suggest unplugging them, as we do not want to start a fire, something that is a frequent occurrence here in Passaic, hopefully not where all of you are. But if I'm remembering back to the first time we saw the combining ears on Uncle Bubba's Mailbox, we had very muscular figures. Now we're getting a little softer. We're getting pom-poms. We're getting cheerleaders. So we're seeing just how dynamic a range Josh has. We're going from the ultra-masculine to a slightly lighter touch. Very good. Boy, we are all combining ears at all time. Combinations! Orange, pink, green, and purple creates Kooky. Whoa! Very kooky, if I may say so myself. A lot of colors on the creation in the middle. They have used all their powers, all their colors. They're all from different colorful dimensions. And they have created a wonderful creature with 6 arms and 2 legs. Nice big kneecaps there. Wonderful composition and a wonderful and kooky outlook on life. Wow. I must say, Josh, your artistic endeavors have no end. They have no end. Once again, green, a color we've seen quite a lot on Uncle Bubba's Mailbox Season 2. Green troop creates ultra grass troop. That is true. Green is the color of grass, the color of life. So these 4 young creatures, they become one big guy with some crazy wiggling arms, some big eyes. A lot of great expression here, Josh. I like all the little lines that are coming out of our main creature. He seems, again, like a kooky guy, like our last creature. Very expressive, very emotional. The artwork of Josh just will, it has no limits. No limits at all. Gray Troop becomes Ultra Gray Troop. Whoa! So they were just gray, now they're ultra gray, Josh? This is something else. The combining ears, who they have created, has again a very intense look on his face. He's showing all his teeth, he's grinning, whereas all the other ones, they were all smiling. And now the creature they have combined to form is very intense looking. Perhaps the ultraness is ultra seriousness. Very good. Again. Again. We have combined so much stuff, or I don't know what else there is to do. Combinations, purple, brown, orange, gray creates pullet. Not sure what pullet is. He appears to be holding some almost weapons. He kind of reminds me of a Nerf gun for some reason, the creature they have created. Maybe the color scheme. He looks like he may be holding Nerf guns there. He's got a nice... The helmet he's wearing seems almost like a samurai gear. So this is a creature who is perhaps ready for battle on the battlefield. I like the way that, you've used all the colors from each of the combining ears. They've all combined again to create one piece of artwork. Very good. Next. Yep. Again, I am getting reports from my producers that we are running a little long on time again on Uncle Bubba's Mailbox as this seemingly bottomless box just keeps coming. It keeps coming. But we're still going. And Luke has joined Uncle Bubba's Mailbox with another comic, much like episode 11, the season 1 finale of Uncle Bubba's Mailbox. We are back to the comic world, telling a compelling story. We're not just drawing pictures, we're telling a story. So we're starting with what looks like a stamp. We're doing mixed media artwork. Then we have perhaps a buffalo of some sort, a wild beast roaming on the American frontier. We're thinking back again. We thought about the ancient Aztecs before. Now we're thinking about the American frontier. We're always thinking about the past to help us move towards the future. And we have a character in a cave. A little brown at the bottom, a lot of greens, dark blues. Makes me think this is bats are in this cave. There is a figure who was brave enough to walk into the cave. A heart. We're starting with a heart. So it's a character full of love who has walked into a cave. There appears to be a circus tent. Perhaps these images are not. Maybe it's more of an abstract story where we have to tell the story. We have to do the hard work. Luke is just providing us the images. We have to make the story. Then a character who's now trapped in a box with rain. Before we were, with all our hearts, we were going into a cave. Now look where that has led us to. A box with rain. Was our bravery going into the cave where there were wild wilderness beasts on the American frontier? How did that work out? We're seeing that. We now have a decapitated unicorn, I believe. No head. This is turning into a very dystopian world where with our hearts we entered a cave. Now look what's happening. Unicorns, they're not losing their horns, they're losing their heads. This character almost looks like a musket. He's holding a musket. So he's on the American frontier. We've returned to that world. And there is the unicorn's head on the American frontier with a man with multiple arms. So we are. I think this whole thing is telling us to look back to the times of old. Look at all the mistakes we made back then. How can we create better? How can we make better? All that stuff had happened. It's in the past. But the past informs us. It helps us make better people. All right, now 10 years later, which I may not be good with math, but I think is the present day. We have a shape, a bus. This is Luke's work here is much hearkening to Stanley Kubrick's work in 2001: A Space Odyssey, where we started with the apes throwing the bone, the first tool, and then that wonderful match cut into the spaceship. Luke is doing this much like Stanley Kubrick. Is Luke the next Stanley Kubrick? Perhaps. And we are ending the same way we started, with a stamp. So we went on this amazing journey, and where did that get us? Right back to where we started from. Right back to where we started from. But guess what? The end may be the same as the start, but we're different. We went on this journey with Luke. He took us on this journey through time, through the history of humanity. And we've all come out a lot better, a lot smarter, and with the wisdom of older people. That ought to wrap it up for this week's edition of Uncle Bubba's Mailbox. Again, we will keep going through this box every week until we are at the end, until we have gone through every artistic achievement, even if that takes us the rest of our lives. It will all be worth it. And the end. Hold on 1 second. This is a very embarrassing thing. I don't often get phone calls, but as long as yeah. Hello? Hello? What? No. No. You're joking, right? Please tell me you're joking. No. No. No!